Hello everyone, Xeno What If here. Here to bring in part 5 of What If Military was in Cross Ange. Link down description of the fanfiction of this What If. Listen here YouTube. I do not own anything and this is not a scam. Emma joined the Royal Army and meet the Queen Elizabeth II. Arsenal, interview room. Currently Emma is in the interview room, where she wants to volunteer as part of the British Royal Army military ranks. Montgomery. We will wait in here, so be patient. Then the three generals came in and sat down, while Montgomery was still standing. Field Marshal Claude Auchinleck. Monty, what are you bringing in here? Montgomery. She wanna join us, as a general, she out from Rosenblum Royal Army and wanna join us as a general. Field Marshal Michael Carver, HMPH. A lowly animal like you is not worth to be a part of us. Emma, but please, give me a second chance. I wanna join your forces. Carver, if you want to join, do you have previous experience in the field? Emma, no actually. My previous job as an Inspector General, I handled the rules that existed at Arsenal before. I will also report Norma who will run away if that happens. Carver, that was your only job during your day before we get transferred. Emma, yes. I would love to become a British citizen but Mr. Monty says if a foreigner wants to get his or her citizenship, he or she has to apply to the military to get it. Carver, why is that? Emma, because I already realized the rottenness of this world after being told by those two dragons and all of you. It was at that point that I felt betrayed, embarrassed, and disappointed. Auchinleck. I understand how you feel Mrs. Emma, but joining us won't be easy, you have to take some tests and stuff. Field Marshal Ronald Gibbs. I guarantee she won't be able to pass all the tests because her military background is so bad. Emma, I want to improve myself. I regret what I did in the past. So please, let me join you in making amends for my past mistakes and sins. After talking like that, the three field marshals had a discussion about determining Emma's next fate because they needed more certainty. Emma whispered, what are they doing? Montgomery whispered, they are still discussing whether you deserve to be accepted or not. Then these three people finished discussing and then Marshal Gibbs spoke to her. Gibbs, well, you can join the Royal Army, with the rank of general, but, if you want to advance to the rank of field marshal, then you have to do 5 heroic actions, then you can move on to the rank of field marshal, do you understand? Emma, you understand, so I got accepted. Auchinleck, yes, you are accepted into the British Royal Army, but I want to see your skills in shooting. Emma, therefore, Auchinleck, what? Long story short, shooting range. The three field marshals were left speechless because Emma's skill in shooting was far from average, because Emma's shots were always off the mark or not on target. Gibbs, that's how much your marksmanship is. Emma, I'm sorry. I'm not good at this. Auchinleck, we have no choice. Carver, call him. Emma, him. Carver, but, Auchinleck, do it. Carver, alright, take a phone dialing a number. Hello. Jeremiah, where are you? We need you here now. I've been in here. They saw that Jeremiah was already beside them, and it was enough to make them surprised. Field Marshal Jeremiah Thompson or Baron Thompson of Isle of Wight. Jeremiah, what make you three called me, guys? Auchinleck, well, please teach her to shoot accurately, we wanna have a small talk, we didn't take long, only about 10 minutes. Monty, you with me. Montgomery, alright. Then these 4 field marshals immediately left the two of them behind. Jeremiah, alright, the first thing is, keep focus on your target and don't get distracted and shoot the target slowly and don't rush. Emma, only that. Jeremiah, in other hand, if you wanna operate the assault rifle, you need to keep steady and do it like you shoot a handgun. Simply put, shoot in semi-mode or at least use burst mode. Trust me, it's work, with this you can use auto mode. Emma, alright. Jeremiah, here give her Webley revolver. First, I wanna use revolver rather than semi-automatic handgun. Emma, are you sure? Jeremiah, yeah, I'm sure, just do like what I say, and you can mastered it. Emma, alright. Meanwhile with the Royal Army Field Marshals. Montgomery, what, do you say His Majesty gonna to hear? Gibbs, that's right, His Highness Prince Philip and Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II will visiting Arsenal for charitable assistance and monthly visits only. Carver, are they gonna replace any single of Rosenblum assistants from outside? Gibbs, you can say yes. Montgomery, Her Majesty will be so happy to in here, because lot of Norma kid in here, they have from around this world. Auchinleck, I think we need to introduce her, maybe with that, she can enter our military ranks. Montgomery, just leave her alone, after all, Mrs. Emma will welcome them both and everything will be fine. Carver, you think so? Auchinleck, yeah, after all, deserters like Mrs. Emma might be pardoned like you all. Montgomery, you're not always wrong. Auchinleck, let's just end this nonsense discussion, after all, we must welcome Her Majesty's arrival. Meanwhile at Royal Navy Fleet. This fleet consists of 1 battleship, 1 aircraft carrier, and 4 destroyers. HMS Lion B-31 Lion-class battleship. HMS Ark Royal R-20 Queen Elizabeth class aircraft carrier. HMS Dragon D-35, HMS Daring D-32, HMS Dauntless D-33 Daring class destroyer. Inside the HMS Lion B-31 bridge deck. An admiral of the Royal Navy, currently with Prince Philip and have a conversation, while they see this fleet is heading to Arsenal. Admiral Victor Crutchley. Crutchley, Your Highness, we have already contacted our troops in Arsenal, where they will welcome us. Prince Philip. Prince Philip, well then, I'm sure our arrival will be warmly welcomed. Crutchley, Your Highness, has Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II really pardoned me and several other generals? Prince Philip, don't worry, Sir Crutchley, a man who's still loyal to the royal family like you and the others like Montgomery is sure had been pardoned. Note, all right, let me get this straight. The English generals who defected to Canada were because they were motivated by Montgomery's reckless act of defecting rather than having to become German collaborators. Other English generals were afraid that Montgomery would be executed, but when the news came out that Montgomery was pardoned by Queen Elizabeth II herself, then this motivated several English generals to defect to the royal family and leave the collaborators. Until there were a total of 7 generals and 2 admirals who defected to Canada to side with the royal family, and in the end they were pardoned. But with one condition, if they are found to have betrayed, then they will not hesitate to be executed. Crutchley, I hope we can win this war, and free all discriminating Normas. Prince Philip, do you know, Sir Crutchley? Crutchley, what? Prince Philip, I heard the fact that Norma was created in this world only to stabilize this world, and a weapon just to make these despicable Mana people to extract the blood from the heart of the male dragon and flow it into Aura. Crutchley, they are so ruthless and very authoritarian, I hope this world has a Mana crisis. Prince Philip, you know, Sir Crutchley, maybe I should go back down to the battlefield. Crutchley, but, Your Highness, I think you totally resigned from the military. Prince Philip, in that case, I'm re-entering, as Supreme Commander for the British forces. We gonna plan a invasion of Kingdom of Rosenblum. What do you think? Crutchley, I agree with that, Your Highness. Ark Royal Crew 7 #, Your Highness, we gonna arrived at Arsenal in 5 minutes. Prince Philip, yeah, I know. I can see the island now. Prepare the helicopter, we gonna go there by that. Ark Royal Crew 7 #, yes, Your Majesty. Back to Arsenal. Now, Jeremiah has finished teaching Emma how to shoot accurately and without any hassle, and then they are visited again by the 4 field marshals. Auchinleck, hey, how it's going? Jeremiah, Mrs. Emma showed potential that she can learn quickly. Carver, the level of accuracy in shooting. Jeremiah, 100%. Gibbs, crazy, you learn so fast, are you cheat by use Mana ability, huh? Emma, no, it's natural for me. Carver, natural you say. Emma, it's an advantage that has been passed down from generation to generation. Every time I learn something, I can immediately learn and understand everything. I even finished my education quickly and get title, Genius Lady. Gibbs, if you can learn something quickly, why did you shoot but it was a mess earlier? Emma, because I drank a small glass of tequila to drown out the effects of my excess, but that only damped and didn't vanished it. Because it's become a curse on me, because I just want to be a normal person. Jeremiah, if you don't consider your advantages as a gift, that means you are not grateful. Emma, maybe I should, just let it sit in me and try to sharpen it again. Jeremiah. Good, that's just the spirit. Montgomery. Mrs. Emma Bronson, you are well deserved to join us, and you are honorably enlisted in the British military. A British soldier gave Emma a uniform for a British military officer with the rank of general, and Emma was take it. Emma. Thank you. I promise to serve the United Kingdom and the Queen. Then a British soldier came rushing in. British soldier ate hash. Her Majesty is here. Fast. We must hurry. Jeremiah. Emma. Hurry up and change clothes. Emma. Okay. But where? Jeremiah. In the bathroom only. There's no time. Hurry, I wait in here. Emma. Alright. Then Emma ran to the bathroom to change clothes, and Jeremiah was still waiting for her outside. Meanwhile on the yard, all British troops are preparing to welcome their queen and several US troops guarding the surrounding area, then one helicopter that been guarded by 4 helicopters is going to land. Augusta Westland A-101. Westland W-19 Super Lynx. Then the A-101 helicopter landed and then the red carpet was rolled out, then the helicopter doors opened and British troops prepared to welcome the Queen's arrival. Montgomery. Attention. To all forces. To Her Majesty Queen of the United Kingdom. Royal salute. Present arm. Illustration. Then, Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth II came out of the helicopter and all the British troops saluted at them, then they were both greeted by Montgomery who saluted too. Montgomery. Your Majesty, I'm honored to have you set foot here, how was the trip? Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II. All is well, Viscount Montgomery, so any good news? Montgomery. Yes, I just wanted to clarify that a former Inspector General from the Kingdom of Rosenbloom had recently joined the Royal Army and was showing her allegiance to royal family. Prince Philip. So, a defector then? Montgomery. Yes, Your Highness. Then Jeremiah and Emma came after a few minutes later, and Emma was dressed in the military uniform of a British officer with the rank of general. Jeremiah. Your Majesty, Beau's nice to see you here. Emma. So you the Queen of United Kingdom? Oh my gosh. Beau's I'm so sorry I don't recognize yourself. Queen Elizabeth II. Apologize accepted. Emma. Excuse me, Your Majesty, I allow myself to introduce myself. My name is General Emma Bronson, recently joined the Royal Army with the rank of General, as per my previous military rank. Queen Elizabeth II. How old are you? Emma. 22 years old. Prince Philip. Marshal Thompson was only 23 years old, 1 year apart, and still looked young. Queen Elizabeth II. Tell me, young woman, are you a Mana people? Emma. Yeah, but after I know the truth about this world, I decided to defect to you all. Remembering your country is a counterpart of Kingdom of Rosenbloom. Please, I can use my ability for good, and I swear to keep my allegiance to United Kingdom and her Queen. Jeremiah. That the spirit, good work. Emma. Thanks. Montgomery. Alright, lovebirds, can you show us a place where Her Majesty can rest? Emma. You can use the Rosenbloom estate building in there, since this arsenal is a property of Kingdom of Rosenbloom. I guarantee this place into property of United Kingdom of Britain and turn over Rosenblum's property to you, Your Majesty. Queen Elizabeth II. Can you explain, what is the use of this estate building? Emma. It is the estate that members of the Rosenbloom royal family stay in while inspecting arsenal. Prince Philip. Not anymore, now, that estate belongs to us, not them. Queen Elizabeth II. You made such a great job, good job. Then Queen Elizabeth II shook hands with Emma, making herself honored by this, and then Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth II accompanied by their bodyguards and several generals entered the estate which had been opened for the arrival of Queen Elizabeth II. Jeremiah. What do you think? Would the Queen of UK or Queen of Rosenbloom be better? Emma. I prefer her. Because, the Queen of UK is more openly to others, while the Queen of Rosenbloom is too cold. Jeremiah. I'm glad to hear that, now let's go. By the way, I hear the Secretary General of Marmaria is running away from its own country. Emma. Who told that? Jeremiah. My friend, from the CIA. Emma. I hope war in Marmaria soon will be over. Jeremiah. Emma. Would you join my tank company? Emma. Yeah, I would love to. What its name? Jeremiah. 8th Tank Company, Black Panthers. Emma. That a good name, alright, let's go, I wanna see the others. Jeremiah. Yeah. Then, they both left from there. The invasion of the Gallia Empire and the fall of Marmaria and Velda. The next day, outskirts of Periro, Gallia Empire. A group of US troops and Free French troops stationed in Canada were also there, carrying heavy weaponry in the form of MLRS multiple launch rocket system. M270 MLRS. They can enter undetected because there is a beach that is not guarded, aka too exposed, so OFN troops can easily land troops there and enter enemy territory without get detected. US Soldier 7 #. General, all of MLRS and artillery battery have been installed. We ready to fire. General Maxwell D. Taylor. So this is it. US Soldier 7 #. Taylor, we gonna commit a war crime by bombing civilian area. By this, theirs will be a regret. US Soldier 7 #. There always be a regret, sir. But we faced a rotten race and bigots who always discriminate the Norma so badly. Taylor, well, we have no choice to do this. US Soldier 7 #. So we ready? Taylor, yes. Then, several vehicles took to the streets that didn't catch the attention of many people, and after all were in position, then, General Taylor was use his radio to ordering his men. Taylor, speak in his mind. God, forgive me for what I'm going to do right now, but there is no other choice, spoke steady with your weapons. We are ready to show our hatred of them with our military might. With this, Operation Jupiter is executed. All forces, open fire. Then all the MLRS fired towards civilian area. It was seen that many rockets were used to shoot at this city full of residents. All sectors of the city that were initially fine and safe. Suddenly the rocket exploded after reaching the ground and destroyed many buildings and caused casualties. The successive explosions, and the attacks that were still ongoing, made Jill, who was also part of them, feel satisfied. Jill, kill them all, guys, kill them all. Then, many forces rolled in and took to the streets of the ruined city. After investigating, it turns out that this city has been cleared of Norma who was assisted to leave there. And also of course there are those with their families or friends who are still loyal to them, so it's safe if this city or get bombarded by OFN troops. Of course, the US had thanks to the CIA who do that job secretly before the invasion begins. Periro, Gallia Empire. The situation was that the city's central sector was in ruins, with many people injured and some killed by explosions or collapsed buildings. Later, the Gallian police arrived to assist the civilians affected by this attack, and then the OFN troops who had gone deeper into the city as they were able to break through some of the ruins. The OFN troops entered into armed contact with the Gallian police. US Soldier 10 #. Eat lead, bastard. Shoot his M16A5. Free French Soldier 7 #. You think that we won't stay quiet? We here to liberate the Norma. Shoot his famous F1. The police also used their mana shield to shoot up close. Instead the shield was pierced by a bullet like glass through a bullet and the police died and shocked all the police in there. Gallian Police 7 #. The fuck? Gallian Police 1 #. No way. That impossible. Gallian Police 10 #. How could they break through the mana shield so easily? Then there was another policeman who had brought a submachine gun and started activating his mana shield. But when he came out of hiding, his leg was shot and finally he died too after falling. Gallian Police 9 #. Shit. Gallian Police 2 #. What the fuck? Why they can do that? Meanwhile at Paris Imperial Palace. The Emperor Lowenhers was shocked after hearing the news that his country had been attacked by OFN. Emperor Lowenhers, what the hell? Did you said the OFN is attacking us? Where? Gallian Military Officer 6 #. Less than greater than. Emperor Lowenhers, the city is only 7 kilometers from the capital. Why do they know exactly where the strategic location is? Gallian Military Officer 6 #. Less than greater than. Emperor Lowenhers, why don't you guys guard the beach? Gallian Military Officer 6 #. Less than greater than. Emperor Lowenhers, what is the name of this beach? Gallian Military Officer 6 #. Less than greater than. However, Emperor Lowenhers turned off the call from the military officer and deactivated his mana holographic communication. Emperor Lowenhers, wait a minute. Jean Rose Beach. Jean Rose Beach, what is it? I remember it from the past, but when? Meanwhile at the off-coast of Jean Rose Beach. In the off-coast of Jean Rose Beach, there was a fleet standby just in case, and this is a combined fleet of US and Free French forces, that consist of 2 battleship, 2 aircraft carrier, 4 destroyer and many troop carrier. The US ships: USS Pennsylvania BB-72 Pennsylvania-class battleship. USS Franklin D. Roosevelt CVN-74 Roosevelt-class aircraft carrier. USS Forrest Sherman DDG-98 USS Dewey DDG-105 USS Stockdale DDG-106 USS Wayne E. Meyer DDG-108 Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. The French ships: FFNF Richelieu, Richelieu-class battleship modernized. FFNF Charles de Gaulle R-100 Charles de Gaulle-class aircraft carrier. At USS Franklin D. Roosevelt CVN-75 bridge deck. The progress of this surprise invasion meant that they were able to shorten the time of their invasion of Gallia, and all went well as they did not come under attack from the enemy. Admiral Thomas H. Moorer. Well, this invasion will give us opportunity to secure this nation. FDR Crew 7 Admiral, the MLRS batteries had opened fire to the nearest city, but we get lucky because the capital of Paris is only 7 kilometers from Perriero. Moorer: good job, tell Maxwell to keep it up. Because we never hold back. General William W. Mamier: that good, so we gonna keep pushing to their capital. Because if we couldn't take in their capital in 24 hours, the Congress will allow to use nukes. Moorer: nukes? What is Congress thinking right now? Mamier: they want to demonstrate the power of our nuclear weapons to frighten the enemy so they don't intimidate us too much. Moorer: what about the Norma population that the Mana Society has yet to detect? Mamier: the CIA can take care of that. Back to the front line. Jill is now in the command tent belonging to the Free French troops, and they are discussing next plans. Field Marshal Philippe Leclerc: thank you, General Electra, you have found the quickest way to the capital Paris. But since you are Gallian, what do you know about this country? Jill: of course I grew up in this country, so I know this country better before you guys. But the capital Paris is not just any capital. General Paul Elie: if it's not the usual capital, what's the difference? Jill: Paris is believed to be the largest military garrison, larger than any other military garrison. So, if the city was attacked, then they were ready with the defensive barricades installed throughout the city border with other cities. General Jean Gasso: how long can they survive the onslaught of the enemy? Jill: at least up to 2 months. Gasso: crazy, very strong, we need tactics to loosen their defensive barricades. Jill: it's no use, even if you try, then they can't fall. Note: maybe this is the same case like the English case, where the generals of the French state defected to the Free French. And the result was their 4 general and 4 admirals who defect to Free France after they see the French state had already weakened by SS state of Burgundy. But luckily, they got pardoned. Gasso: so, how are we supposed to break through the city's defenses? Jill: what the city needed was an aerial attack, but that was too risky, as their air defense was also strong. Elie: so it can't be from the ground or from the air. In that case, why not hit them with the ship's missiles? Jill: even though their anti-air armament consisted of heavy machine guns, their deployments were so many, it could fill an entire city. Elie: so, where do we attack from? Jill: only this is my ability to know the ins and outs of this country. For a way to break through the defense of the city of Paris it is absolutely impossible. General Marcel Alessandri: so you just gave up. You want to bring about your revolution of libertas which failed a few years ago before us. Jill: I would love to execute Operation Libertas, but the norms can only help you as much as they can and we can't be united yet. Alessandri: then, with you being the ex-daughter of the Gallia Empire and a Norma, then you can convince all the norms in this entire world and bring this war to a good ending. Jill: I can't. I'm afraid I will make a same mistake. Leclerc: what mistake have you done? Jill: at the previous Libertas, I was approached by a person called Embryo, the creator of this world. You know him through the dragon, right? Gasso: yeah. Elie: we know him. Alessandri: a jerk who behind all of this problem. Field Marshal Louis Napoleon. Napoleon. If I'm not mistaken, did that man tease you so you and him slept together in the middle of a revolution? All the generals looked at Napoleon in disbelief. Napoleon. What? Is that true? Jill. Yes, that's true, because of my carelessness, my comrades died in the revolution, only I am left. I also lost my right arm and also my royal ring, which can access a powerful weapon named Vilcus. Napoleon. Vilcus, a name of the one of powerful weapon named Rognamail, right? Ellie. Oh, yes. The dragon had tell us that. Jill. In the past, before I used it, many other pilots had tried it, but the power seemed to be sealed. Without the power of the royal ring, the seal could be removed. Napoleon. Still hope. We just need to find Norma, who is of royal blood and has the royal ring. Gasso. By the way, what is so special about the royal ring worn by Norma of royal blood? Jill. Because this royal ring has a power that can unseal Rognamail, so, this Rognamail can be used because it's like the activation key. Leclerc. If I'm not mistaken from the information I got, only 2 countries have this royal ring, Gallia and Missurugi. Jill. Mine is destroyed, but the other is on the Missurugi. It impossible to steal that. Alessandri. No need to steal, we just need to carry it. Jill. With what? Ellie. We got information that Princess Angelis of Missurugi is Norma. Jill. You must be kidding. Ellie. No, I'm not kidding. For some reason, our eyesight can distinguish between Mana people and Norma. Jill. How does it work? Ellie. I dunno, I saw you, but it had a light yellow aura in your body, while the rest of the new Normas like us had a dark yellow aura in our body. Jill. If you look at the people of Mana, what color is their aura? Ellie. Nothing, they have no aura at all. Napoleon. That means the true humanity within them is dead. Gasso. Damn, that's so tragic. Leclerc. Jill. If you think this all gonna failed is not. You're not alone, you still have us, and your friend in Arsenal. Alessandri. Humans, Norma, dragon, new Norma, it doesn't matter, what matters, you know who we really are. We still a human being, we don't care if you had no mana or have. Remember, we are not creatures that live alone, but social beings who should work hand in hand and help one another. Jill. Thanks everyone. Meanwhile at Marmaria, Directus. OFN forces have entered the city of Directus, and some Marmarian troops are still defending the city. Marmarian Soldier 9 #, don't loosen up. We need to keep them out from the capital. Marmarian Soldier 12 #, there's no hope. We cannot win this war in battle. We've lost. Marmarian Soldier 18 #, don't say that. We not lost yet. We still fight and launch a counterattack. Marmarian Soldier 11 #, it's no use. Our mana shield is useless. We cannot defend ourselves. The desperate Marmarian troops have resigned themselves to what will happen to this nation, until Marmarian General 1 #, less than greater than. The mana holographic screen displayed several Marmarian generals who were desperate and finally they chose to surrender rather than be slaughtered. Marmarian General 1 #, less than greater than. And then the mana holographic screen had disappeared, and some of the Marmarians stopped fighting and dropped their weapons, then put their hands behind their heads. And all the Marmarian troops left their posts, even their military officers too, and they started to surrender. US Soldier 9 #, we won. US Soldier 19 #, hooray. We won. All OFN troops cheered because this operation was successful and Marmaria fell into OFN's hands. Meanwhile at Velda, Kandahar. The capital city of Kandahar has been devastated, because the attacks of the Japanese troops were in succession causing many structures turned into ruins. The Japanese troops opened fire on all of Velda's defenseless troops and the highest few were tortured by being beaten with rifle butts. IJA Soldier 14 #, not so high and mighty now, are you? IJA Soldier 12 #, you don't deserve to live, you monster. IJA Soldier 19 #, you are the real monster, not the Norma and us, idiot. Then Teikaiki, who was there, took out his handgun and pointed it at a young Veldan general. Teikaiki, now, join your tools in hell. Teikaiki shot him 5 times and after the young general fell, Teikaiki shot him in the head, confirming that the man was dead. Teikaiki, push forward. Don't let these rats to get away. Then several troops stormed into the royal palace of the Velda dynasty. Teikaiki was outside for a long time. He only heard gunshots which according to him, the king and queen of the Velda dynasty were dead, but he only got news from one of his troops. IJA Soldier 10 # Colonel, the king and queen of Velda dynasty had gone, they not on here. Teikaiki, darn it, burn this place, and raising our flag. Then the Japanese flag fluttered after the Velda dynasty flag was dropped and replaced with the rising sun flag. And that was where Velda fell. Then after that, the captured Velda troops were under General Kuribayashi's tutelage. IJA Soldier 22 # So what about these prisoners, General? Kuribayashi, leave a little for re-education, the rest, you just finish it. A small portion of Velda's soldiers and civilians were taken away, while the rest were executed. Battle of Periro and JFK declares demanification to the defeated states. Periro, Gallia Empire. The battle is still going on fiercely. The Gallian troops have entered the city to evacuate the civilians who are still trapped in the battle. Gallian Soldier 8 # Damn OFN troops. They slaughtered innocent people. You war criminal. Gallian Soldier 10 # You're right, buddy. They bombed a city full of civilians. Unacceptable. A Gallian general named Francois saw that the surroundings were in ruins. He didn't show any emotion with what happened here, his feelings were mixed at that time. Brigadier General Francois, no picture, use your imagination. Brigadier General Francois, in all these years, I have never seen such devastation. I have never seen war before and so many lives lost. Gallian Soldier 10 # You mean, Brigadier General? Brigadier General Francois, I realized one thing from all of this, there is no such thing as a peaceful paradise and utopia. God lied to us, this world is no longer safe. Gallian Soldier 11 # Do you choose to just surrender to the enemy? Brigadier General Francois, I say that doesn't mean I choose to surrender to the enemy, it's just, this world has been ravaged by the Norma within, plus the OFN troops who defend them. We make sure that they will not enter the capital or 10 million citizens will become victims of war. Gallian Soldier 10 # But it was nearly impossible against them with light of mana. Because they are able to destroy it without having to touch it. Brigadier General Francois, if so, don't use mana, we will fight manually, even though many troops will fall. If you are still dependent, that is your business, you want to be safe following my words or not, you will not see your family. Gallian Soldier 10 # Understood, Brigadier General. Meanwhile with the OFN forces. US troops and Free French forces are in discussions for the current battle for the city. Napoleon. Alright, Free French 19th Armored Division will cut off onto the Closu Highway, there, will rendezvous with US 5th Army. Then the Free France 21st Tank Division, Verdun, advance on the enemy's positions in the Governor Office building. We have to take over a broadcast building, and once we take over that building, then we will broadcast the whereabouts of Jill or Electra to all of Gallia. Wheeler, the US 15th Army will help you capture the building, along with the US 101st Armored Division. General Taylor will provide artillery support, if you need help, just say a word. And the other member of 1st Squadron will provide an air support. Vivian, got it. Rosalie, you can count on us. Vivian, by the way, where's Ursha? Meanwhile at the skies of Periro. Ursha's para-male only circled the city, watching the USMLRS fire on civilian areas that had not been reached. Ursha thought that those Mana people probably deserved what they had done, even if the means were too cruel. Question mark question mark question mark. 1. Less than greater than. Ursha. Ursha. EHMMM. Nothing. I'm fine. She saw a jet fighter, it's different from others, it was a ground attack fighter, A-10 Thunderbolt 2. Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt 2. Question mark question mark question mark. 1. Less than greater than. Ursha. Yeah, I can see you in behind me. Question mark question mark question mark. 1. Less than asterisk chuckles you never seen like this. Greater than greater than. Ursha. Never, by the way, why you approaching me? Question mark question mark question mark. 1. Less than greater than. Ursha. Chuckles you're funny. My name is Ursha, what yours? Austin. Less than greater than. Back to the Free France forces. Jill led the Free French 19th Armored Division, and they were about to cut the lane from the Closu Highway. When the highway was safe, they cut the road by opening the roadblock by being hit by a tank. AMX-30B2 Brennis. And not only Jill, General Jean Cuck also accompanied Jill to succeed their goals to broadcasting building. General Jean Cuck. Cuck. Yeah, don't show remorse. We will broke their necks. Show the might of the France. Vive la résistance. 2 AMX-30B 2 inches Brennis, driving on a highway having opposite lanes clearing the road of any distractions such as like wrecked cars. Free French Soldier 22 hash, alright. So far so good, keep it up. They kept walking with many vehicles behind them to keep them from behind. While Jill just smiled by seeing herself able to lead troops and would show her father who was a jerk that she was not a random person to fight against. Jill, though just wait for my revenge. Father. AMX-30B2 Commander 19 hash, General Jill, you need a ride. Jill, yeah, I will take a ride. Jill got on the tank and the tank walked forward. Now they need to help the 5th U.S. Army which is dealing with the Galleon troops. With 5th U.S. Army position. U.S. Soldier 12 hash, keep firing. U.S. 5th Army is still fighting Galleon troops guarding the main road leading to the Governor Office building. U.S. Soldier 18 hash, die you monster. Shoot his M4A1. U.S. Soldier 10 hash, use radio we need reinforcement. Where is the Frenchies? U.S. Soldier 39 hash, less than 19th Armored Division are heading to your way. Just hold as you can. Greater than. U.S. Soldier 22 hash, darn. They're too tough. U.S. Soldier 20 hash, focus on them. Don't let those beasts get in our way. The two sides exchanged fire, and the Galleon troops who already knew their mana power was useless were still being used, but that only got them killed. Galleon Soldier 9 hash, death to the occupiers. Galleon Soldier 2 hash, you will not pass, you democratic freaks. Galleon Soldier 16 hash, suck my bullets. Get shot and dead. Galleon Soldier 11 hash, shit. Why they don't just die. Get shot on the head and dead. Galleon Soldier 18 hash, you jerk. He-ah, shot his rifle. The Galleons fought desperately. If they used mana, they would die. If they didn't use it, they would die too. They would just die. There was nothing they could do. Galleon Soldier 10 hash, I'll finish this and go home safely. Back at Free French 19th Armored Division. The Free French troops rode toward their destination unmolested, but Jill ordered them all to stop. Jill, stop. All troops stopped walking and they were confused what General Jill was thinking. Cuck, how come we stop? Even though the US 5th troop was still 3 kilometers away. Jill, something's wrong, we are advancing without obstruction, I am afraid that this is a trap, tank troops, shoot the buildings around you. And also some places you suspect to be an ambush spot. All the tanks pointed their turrets at several buildings that were suspected of being ambush spots, and several troops with rocket launchers were also present and pointed their guns at several buildings. Then they started shooting at the buildings which Cuck considered this as a waste of ammunition, but after one place was destroyed with someone falling down and screaming from being hit by a tank shot, they were sure that Jill's guess was right, they fell into a trap, but they managed to uncover it. Cuck. Shit. Free French Soldier 3 hash. Those campers is just try to make a fuss with us. Cuck. Open fire. They also shot at the position of the enemy troops hiding behind the buildings, and finally they managed to neutralize the opposing troops. Jill. That enough. March forward. We must save them. AMX-30B2 Commander 19 hash, alright. General Jill. Jill. You can call me General Electra. AMX-30B2 Commander 19 hash, whatever, that call is fit to you, General Jill. Cuck. Let's go folks. We don't have many time. Let's go. Back to US 5th Army position. US Soldier 23 hash, the Free French 19th Armored Division will arrive on minutes. US Soldier 22 hash, damn it. Their number continues to grow. US Soldier 29 hash, don't lose to them. They are nothing from what we have faced in South Africa. US Soldier 12 hash, hey. We'll win this soon, right? US Soldier 23 hash, yes, soldier, we can win, we can still win. Then they saw tanks starting to push their way through the US 5th, and the Free French 19th Armored Division arrived just in time. US Soldier 26 #, why so long? Jill, those damn galleons are getting ready to ambush my troops, soldiers. Fortunately I can uncover their positions. Cuck. Shot them. Several AMX-30B 2 inches Brennis fired at the positions of the enemy troops and sent them running because unluckily the enemy troops did not carry rocket launchers. Cuck. Use radio, Verdun, Tank Division. Forward. March to Governor Office Building. We have secured the way to Governor Office. Meanwhile at the 21st Tank Division, Verdun, position. Gasso, who led this tank division, were repositioning his glasses and answer to the radio. Gasso. Answering radio, don't worry. Verdun is here. We ready to clear the way. I'm on my way. Hung up the radio, come on boys. Let's go. Hop on the tank, let's go. They brought AMX-40 MBT tanks to make it easier for them to fight enemy tanks. AMX-40 MBT. AMX-40 Commander 5 #, let's go. They immediately advanced to their friend's position and pushed forward into the enemy's defense, and the galleon troops, who did not know what else to do, chose to retreat to the governor's office building. Back at the battlefield, US 5th Army and Free French 19th Armored Division began advancing from their positions and headed towards the enemy forces. Free French Soldier 7 #, keep pushing. Then they saw Gallic troops removing civilians from their hiding places and running towards the building of the governor's office of the city of Periro. AMX-30B2 Commander 11 #, General Jill. Civilians ahead. Jill, kill 'em all. Then 10 AMX-30B2 tanks stepped forward and fired their main guns at the galleon troops and some civilians. Cuck. Ha ha ha. Feel it. This is your punishment. You can't escape your death sentence. Kill them all. Let their God sort them out. Several soldiers from both armies shot indiscriminately. Soldiers or civilians, all of them were all hit. Cuck. Use microphone, you deserve what you got now. You have no hope to save you. Because we're gonna breaks your necks. Then, the US 101st Armored Division and 15th US Army arrive and start attacking. US Soldier 30 #, support are here. Ready to help you all. US Soldier 21 #, use radio, General Taylor. We need MLRS support. Burn them to ashes. In the backline, Taylor, copy that, to his soldiers fire the MLRS. Then the MLRS that has been installed is immediately fired at the predetermined coordinates. Back to the front line. Then, a shower of rockets fell on the enemy troops' positions and their positions were ravaged. Then Cuck, who knew that the enemy troops would be defeated, enthusiastically said like this. Cuck. Use microphone, citizens of Periro. A ring of steel surrounds your rotten city. We will crush all who still dare to resist the will of the OFN forces. Abandon your posts. Abandon your homes. Abandon all of your hope. Vive la résistance. Then they fought for the governor's office building in the city of Periro. Meanwhile at White House, Washington, D.C., United States of America. President JFK was ready to deliver his speech about a project to be undertaken. JFK, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, we are here together because of us, while the governments have created a project that we will carry out for the countries of world of Mana who lost the war. The project that we will run is, demanification. Everyone started to wonder what demanification was. And JFK was stated again his explanation. JFK, demanification was the process of removing Mana influences from all forms of public life in defeated country. The occupying Allies forces carried this process out in a number of ways. The Mana ability was banned and advocating leaders, politicians, generals of the defeated states was made punishable by death, but for advocate them as later after all of this world or fell to our grip. After being explained, they finally understood what JFK was saying. JFK, and I declare, that demanification starts from now on. If the people of Mana do not comply with or against the demanification regulations, they will be immediately arrested and detained. This regulation applies to children, youth, adults or the elderly who can use Mana. I want to see, they live normally as usual without using Mana, like us who don't have this power. But if caught using Mana, they will be thrown into prison, just like dissidents or those who are against this demanification rule. This does not apply to OFN, but GEACPS does, and I have discussed this with Emperor Hirohito and he agree with that. Meanwhile at Marmaria coalition government, Marmaria, which was now in ruins, began to be rebuilt, and cities that had not been affected by the war began to be occupied. Now Marmaria is fully occupied by OFN, and change name into Marmaria Coalition Government or OFN Mandate of Marmaria. After Marshal Lemnitzer heard the news that demanification had been implemented, he immediately broadcast it to the civilians of Marmaria, and what he got were protests from Marmarian people. However, all they got were tear gas attacks because they demonstrated in front of the office building the former Secretary General Marmaria occupied, and those who resisted were caught and beaten. Now, the people of Marmaria can only suffer after their nation was occupied by other foreigners who defended Norma, and now they live being treated the way they treat Normas. They got discrimination, got beaten by soldiers, and worse of that, being shot and executed. Meanwhile, the Normas that lives on Marmaria live happily and freely with their families who are still loyal to them, and they are treated well by the OFN troops. Meanwhile in Japanese Velda, in occupied Velda, the Velda peoples are no less suffering, because they live in terror. They are chased by the Kempeitai police if caught using mana because of General Kuribayashi already applied the demanification in this occupation territory, so he will treat the Velda people more worse than he treat US prisoner back in World War II. The Norma and their families who are still loyal to